Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Raj Chetta. Welcome to another Crimson Orders YouTube video, and welcome to the 7th part in my ongoing series of Marvel Cinematic Universe reviews, leading up all the way to Avengers: Infinity War. It's pretty much past the date of the Super Bowl, and at the time of this upload, Black Panther would have been out already. So if you haven't seen Black Panther yet, I haven't seen it right now, considering, this review is actually being recorded 2 weeks in advance, so I don't have, because it makes my schedule a lot easier now, so that's why I try to do these reviews 2 weeks in advance before they're officially uploaded on YouTube. This isn't like a Rooster Teeth first situation. It's just something for me to get better acquainted with my scheduling. Considering if you haven't seen my my Avengers review, I have already started a course in user design in New York, and so it's going to be pretty tough for me to jumble through these as best I can. So that's why I'm trying to do these reviews 2 weeks in advance. My review for Avengers, the first Avengers movie, it was actually recorded literally about a month ago at this point. So yeah, so if you are watching this and you haven't seen Black Panther yet, go see Black Panther. I'm sure it's fine. And just a few more announcements I want to bring up. I will not upload my review for Black Panther right away, because I want to keep this series of reviews consistent as possible. I will record my thoughts on Black Panther as soon as I see the movie, which is basically today, but I won't upload it around this time. I'm pretty much going to upload my Black Panther review a week before Infinity War comes out, because it makes sense, especially for this series of reviews I'm doing, right? Speaking of Infinity War, I'm sure everybody has seen the second trailer that was showcased during the Super Bowl, as well as a bunch of other trailers to Solo, a Star Wars story, Mission Impossible Fallout, etc., etc., etc. I chose not to see the Infinity War trailer 2. Not because I'm not excited. I am, clearly. I mean, why do you think I'm doing this review series? I chose not to see it because, I don't want to risk being spoiled. I don't want the experience ruined for me when I go actually see the movie in theaters when it comes out in May. Because, I have lost faith in Hollywood marketing. Just, when it comes to films. Because, for example, back in 2014, when The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was coming out, they showed a bunch of footage in the trailers that practically gave away the whole movie. Yes, even Gwen's death. I was like, no, I cannot, just no. And Terminator Genisys pushed the envelope further for me, where I just cannot enjoy movie trailers as much as I used to anymore. So, my philosophy is, whenever there's a big budget movie that you are incredibly looking forward to, like Infinity War, you just see either 1 or 2 trailers. And for the sake of Infinity War, the first teaser we got was the only thing I needed to keep me pumped. Because remember when Terminator Genisys came out, there was that twist where John Connor is now a Terminator. That would have been so cool to find that out when you're actually sitting in the cinema, right? But no, they spoiled more than what Terminator 2 did. Yeah, I'm acknowledging that Terminator 2's trailers spoiled the fact that Arnold is the good guy. But this just pushed it even further for me. I'm like, no, I'm not. I took it. I first experimented this technique with Jurassic World, believe it or not. I saw no single trailer except the teaser, of course, to Jurassic World like around the time it was coming out. And by the time I saw it in the theater, I enjoyed it. Sure, it is a stupid movie, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. I even tried the same tactic with The Last Jedi. Sure, people are still pretty much split on the whole movie, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was worth. I'm not going to go into everything that is Last Jedi right now, considering I already have a review up for it, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. But for Infinity War, I'm not going to risk it, especially for a film that is so big, that is filled with so much potential, that I am not going to risk my exposure to the trailers, So I just saw the teaser and that's it for me. So if you've seen the trailer, the second trailer, that's fine. Good for you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But I'm not going to see any trailers from here on out. But instead, I'm of course going to be doing these Marvel Cinematic Universe films in anticipation for Avengers Infinity War. Sorry about that long semi-rant. I had to get that out of my system. So right now I'm just going to head on over to talking about Iron Man 3. This is the seventh film in the series. It is the first film in the Phase 2 lineup. And this is the first film where Jon Favreau is not directing. Well, he's still in the film as Happy, and he still produced it. But this time it is directed by Shane Black, who is known for a bunch of buddy cop comedies. Really impressive ones, if I might add. For example, he wrote Lethal Weapon. He did one of my favorite comedies of all time, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. If you haven't seen that movie, it's pretty much Iron Man 3, but of course without Iron Man. It's pretty much that. Go check that out. If you haven't, it's a hilarious piece of work. He also eventually did Nice Guys, which came out, I believe, last year or 2 years ago. I gotta double check my IMDb listings here. But yeah, I thought him directing an Iron Man film would be great. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, so I wanted to see what he would bring to the table. I also thought that a fresh vision would be quite interesting, because we already know how Jon Favreau's vision is already like. I wanted to see who else would take up the mantle of directing an Iron Man movie. So the cast, once again, Robert Downey Jr., he's back, and as always, he's fucking Iron Man. I can't say anything any more about that. He's Tony Stark. End of discussion, okay? Pepper Potts, played by Gwyneth Paltrow, she's back. Don Cheadle is back as well. I guess that's about it. Oh yeah, Mark Ruffalo makes a cameo at the end credits, so there's that-ish. But everybody else, Jon Favreau is also, Happy Hogan. But everybody else is pretty much new to the table. We have Guy Pearce as Aldrich Killian, who's basically the main villain of the movie. Ben Kingsley is, he's Trevor. He's not the Mandarin. And I'm going to talk about that in a bit, so hold on to your butts. We have Rebecca Hall, and I forget that kid's name, but he's the kid from Jurassic World. He's the little boy that helps out Tony during the second act of the movie. The kid's great. He's a phenomenal actor. I want to see him in more stuff other than just, Jurassic World and Marvel movies. I hope he gets picked up for more stuff because he's phenomenal. Great performer. So the story is Tony is going through some rough spots, especially after the battle in New York in the first Avengers movie. He has post traumatic stress disorder. He's a wreck, and the way to cope up with all that is by making a handful of Iron Man suits. He goes crazy over it to the point of where he becomes obsessed, where he forgets that the man in him, the machine, the suit in him are two separate identities when it should be just Tony Stark, not the suit. That's the theme of the movie, where he is in control, not the suits. And I think they handled that storyline pretty well, in my opinion. Like, we see what he's going through. We see that he's incredibly damaged, and that he actually has a resolution at the end, that he is Iron Man. He is accepting his role as, like, his official role now. Like, he always treated the suit and him as just two separate entities at this point, but now we can see that he is fully embracing his role as Iron Man, and he doesn't need to have a arc reactor in the chest to be Iron Man, which is a pretty interesting concept in my opinion. And during this whole thing, the Ten Rings, along with their leader, the Mandarin, they're taking center stage. They're creating a lot of panic, especially with this new super soldier weapon system known as Extremis. And yeah, which was devised by Aldrich Killian and his company, Advanced Ideal Mechanics, also AIM. Something. He. Okay, I'm kind of losing it. How do I sum up the rest of this movie? Basically, it's Kiss Kiss Bang Bang for the whole buddy cop scenario, mixed with Incredibles and Iron Man. Yeah. The reason why I say Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is because there's a lot of those buddy cop tropes that are placed in the film, such as Tony with the kid and Tony along with James Rhodes, and the fact that it takes place during Christmas time, which makes the whole Kiss Kiss Bang Bang comparison even more, that in The Incredibles, where the villain just so happens to be a fanboy of the main hero, only to have the main hero turn him down early on and take revenge years later. It's that kind of story. Albeit Incredibles, of course, did it much better than Iron Man 3. Like, I just did not buy Aldrich Killian. Now, the whole Mandarin twist, Ben Kingsley was just an actor the entire time. He was not really a terrorist. I wasn't really pissed off about it. I know a lot of people were. People hated this movie because of this one stupid twist. I'm starting to hate it now, not because it's bad or good or anything, but just because of how dumb the controversy got. It was so unnecessary. I mean, for Pete's sake, it's a movie. It's not like it's in the comics. And after all, these comic book movies are nothing like the comics. Sure, they take inspiration from them, but they're not exactly like the comics. So, calm your horses, please. But, of course, as time moved on, a lot of people started to accept Iron Man 3, including Steve. But for me, I always enjoyed it. I think it's a fun film, but there are a serious amount of flaws that I need to point out. The whole Mandarin twist was, while humorous, it just didn't really, like, with Aldrich Killian being the quote-unquote, I am the Mandarin thing, I was just like, no, I'm like, just stop, okay? And I might be a little biased, considering I'm just not a huge fan of Guy Pearce. I think he's not that good of an actor. Sure, there'll be an exception, like, say, Memento. But overall, I'm just not a fan. I think he's a terrible actor. That's just my opinion. If you think Guy Pearce is a great actor, great. That's fine. But I think he's shit. But whatever. There's a lot of subplots, and Tony acting kind of stupid at times, especially when he gives his address on live television. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, I understand that you're going through some serious mental shit, but this is just beyond stupid. Even for a war, like, I don't know how to describe that situation. It might have been a cool scene, but the consequences were stupid. You gave your address on live television to a known terrorist. I wonder what's going to happen. Ooh, yeah, your house gets blown to bits, and you're presumed dead. Congratulations, idiot. So yeah, those are like the only few things that kind of brought down the movie for me. But everything else was fine. I like what Tony was actually going through, his arc. There was a lot of finality to it, you know. I like the action. The final climax was pretty awesome. My favorite scene in the entire movie by far is the airplane bit where he's trying to save all those passengers from Air Force One. That was cool. I love that bit, and it really shows that he really, like, what he is truly capable as a hero by himself. It would have been cool to see an Avenger right next to, like, help him out, you know? But at this point, I just wanted to see Iron Man being Iron Man. And a lot of people complained that there was zero Iron Man. Like, I understand that, but that's the idea of the movie, that the real man, there's a man behind the mask, you know, it's that kind of story. And what's really interesting is that the themes and messages that are taking place within this film translate over to Spider-Man Homecoming, which I'm going to bring up when that movie comes out, when I talk about that movie, okay? I think that's kind of cool. Like, once again, these past films actually prove a point. They actually make future films make the past films even better. Like when it was announced that Peter Parker was in Iron Man 2, it made Iron Man 2 a whole lot more interesting now. But because back then I thought it was a mess, but no, that was actually kind of cool. It was kind of a redeeming quality for me. Once again, for Iron Man 3, it makes Spider-Man Homecoming, weirdly enough, makes the past Iron Man movies, Iron Man 2 and 3, much better, weirdly enough. From Peter Parker appearing in Iron Man 2 to the theme in Iron Man 3 being translated into Spider-Man Homecoming, that's incredible. So I have to give Marvel props on that. Is it a great movie? No. Is it a terrible movie? No. I think it was pretty damn decent. There's a lot of things I could have fixed, of course, and those are stuff that I already stated, from Guy Pearce to Tony acting like an idiot. But I still enjoyed it. I still had a great time. It's my second favorite Iron Man, that's for sure. Because, like, obviously, nothing is ever going to replace the first film. That film is just great. Just fantastic. But, yeah. Whew. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on Iron Man 3. Let me know what you think of... or did you like it? Did you hate the film? Especially for that dumbass twist. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And, as always... please hit like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications to get more, and I will see you later. Take care.